I think we're probably live. I hope. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to OverDose Vapes. This is Travis from OverDose Vapes, and with me is Nikki B, the infamous Nikki B. And we're back on the main channel. As you can see, this is amazing. So happy to be home. I feel like I'm at home. I am at home, but, you know, it's nice. It's nice to be back. We got Drowsy, Smoke 42 Vape, KBM Productions in the chat. Hello, guys. What's happening? What's going on? Yeah, nice to be back. I was happy to have the alternate channel to do the show on while we were on punishment, and I'm glad that YouTube didn't catch on to that, because it's not, you're not actually supposed to do that. Yeah, and definitely Drowsy, keep OverDose Vapes 2 subbed, because in case anything ever happens to the main channel, that's definitely where I will go to announce those things. Yeah,
it'd be kind of cool to take that channel and review other products and stuff.
Yeah, I've definitely been thinking about trying to do something different with it, you know.
I mean, like, I know that like Panda has her second channel and you have this channel, but you can review on your channel almost anything that you wanted to, because it's a second dose of OverDose.
Absolutely. Well, I have a lot of ideas. Like, somebody asked me one time, like, if vaping got taken off of YouTube, would you continue to do YouTube? Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, I did YouTube before vaping. A lot of people don't know about it because I took all that stuff down because it was embarrassing and humiliating. But I love YouTube. I love the idea of sharing my opinions on stuff. I'm very opinionated. So, yeah, I would definitely continue doing YouTube. And so I've definitely been thinking about doing other things, my other hobbies, maybe putting that on the other channel, just doing like vlogs and stuff as well. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I have a lot of ideas. It's just I don't have a ton of time. And so that's where we run up against the trouble, is lack of time. I work full time. And so by the time I get home, a lot of times I'm just worn out, and it's like, man, I just don't even have time to upload videos to my normal channel. So we'll see. Indie's best. What's happening? Yeah, James Rivera, what up? Man, I'm seeing everybody. I'm so glad to be back on the main channel. See, that's the thing, is even, I know a lot of people did come and watch the second channel, but, you know, I get it. It's a lot to ask. It is a lot. It doesn't seem like a lot to ask, but it's a lot to ask. If you're into a routine and it changes, not everybody's going to follow along. So I get it. I probably wouldn't. You know, that's just me. I'm lazy.
I actually have a few other channels that nobody really, there's a few that know about them, you know. If you're real close to me, you'll know. But I was a crafter on another channel in YouTube land. I did like knitting and duct tape purses, and I reviewed other products. Like I did shopping hauls, you know, of what I found like on sale. I mean, I was that weird all over the place because I was new to YouTube, and was just like, oh, well, I see a whole bunch of people doing this, and I decided to do it. And I was like, but I noticed that most of my craft ones got more hits than anything, because everybody is a DIYer, you know, crafter and stuff like that. So I really have like probably about 70 subscribers over there. And I was like, I just up and left and haven't posted anything. And I probably should sit there and say, hey, I'm alive.
Yeah, you know, there's channels that I was just, before we started, I was going through all the subscriptions that I have on my channel, like that I have subscribed to. And there's channels that I used to watch every day or every time they uploaded. And then all of a sudden you look and they haven't uploaded in 6 months or a year. And you think to yourself, like, what happened to this person, you know?
Right. Especially I used to watch Shaytards. Shay Carl and the Shaytards and stuff. They were really popular family vlogging and stuff every single day. Like, they have 3 kids that were like Truman babies. They were birthed like kind of on YouTube and all the way up to and they just had a falling out, and really bad falling out.
Wow. That's
my life show. Give me a little bit. What do you need? Vapor coming in and asking for new batteries. Okay, that's no, you're fine.
Acceptable.
Yeah, it's acceptable. It's my husband, so I have to pause for a second. He's got the Nautilus too, and a cuboid.
It's not a bad device.
Nope, he's like vaping at like 12 watts, and he's going, "Are the batteries needing change?" And I'm going,
no.
They're
I know
like
so many people who still love the Nautilus, and that's what they use. I know a ton, probably a dozen people who still use the Nautilus. It's a great device.
The Nautilus 2 is a lot better, I think, in my book than the Nautilus 1, just because of the way you fill it.
Yeah.
And the filling was a lot nicer, but I wish they really would have put knurling down at the bottom. I always call it knurling down at the bottom of the version 2, because they didn't really do that, and the first one did, and that's what it's missing, because to grip it, to twist it, even though it locks, it's still slippery when you're trying to get that cap off.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's funny, we were talking about, you know, doing stuff besides vaping on YouTube. And so, I mean, obviously, if people have, you know, are a part of this DIY Down Under, what's up? If you're a part of this community, you know that things have been, there's been a lot of speculation as far as like what's going to be necessary for people if you're involved in these things, you know, with the warning labels and stuff. So I will say that what I've seen so far is that there has been a change to the terms of service on YouTube specifically, about you cannot include links to sites that sell nicotine related products. Now that's not just e-liquid, that's of course also vaping hardware and such. So yeah, no including links. And also you cannot sell, it says on there, you cannot sell or provide links to places that sell nicotine. So I don't know, like if like 3F Vape, which is a online retailer, they have a YouTube page. I don't know if they're going to be able to continue doing that YouTube channel. So I don't know how that's all going to work.
They're thinking there's loopholes of saying where you can get it, but not putting it in the description.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's perhaps you can get away with that, but perhaps not.
Yeah, I don't know. And guess what? It's called Google Fool. Google Fool.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know, it's called Vape Crawler. You know what I'm saying? Vape Crawler is a really good place to sit there and find the cheapest prices, but not always. Google is your best friend.
Definitely. No.
Siri and the Alexis and all them, not so much.
Yeah, so KBN, that's the thing. Yeah, I've been using links in every video I've ever made up until yesterday. And that's the thing is, this is a change to the community guidelines. And so, I mean, obviously you'll probably be able to get away with it for a while, but I wouldn't risk it.
They just put it in the guidelines just recently, KBN. It wasn't in the guidelines now, but there's guidelines now for tobacco products.
Yeah, it's if you want to, I mean, you can just Google how I found it is I Googled YouTube terms of service, community guidelines, and then you just read through those, and there's just one little section that talks about it. And it does suck for affiliate links. Yes, Vaping Swag. What's going on, buddy? Yeah, no, it squashes affiliate links. And here's the thing, just like with the CBD and the Juul, is that it might not hit you the first time because it's a bot. It's just going through the whole website and sweeping and sweeping and sweeping. So it might not hit you at first, but then it might hit you 3 months from now. So it's better to be prepared for that. And you can talk about where to get it for sure. They can't stop you from saying, this is where I got it. This is where you should get it at. This is where I recommend getting it. But yeah, and that's just the community guidelines. And
well,
so
that's another thing that, okay, even though you don't have a link now, if you actually display the link, is that a guideline, community guideline?
I think it would be a community guidelines, right? Because it says
for people like they have Patreons and stuff like that, and actually the links to the people that sponsor them and stuff in their show. If they're a tobacco product, then like Swag, he sells liquids. If they were to display Vaping Swag on their thing, would that actually be a strike on them because they're displaying a consumer, a product?
See, I think you can talk about specific companies. The way it's phrased is that that in your content, and content is graphics, video, sound, blah blah blah. You cannot include direct links, but it doesn't say you can't promote. Okay. It just says direct links. And the DIY Down Under Pippa says, I refuse to use tobacco products. I get my nick from tomatoes and eggplants, so am I okay? They specifically do say not tobacco products. They say specifically nicotine products.
Nicotine.
So, yeah.
And just like I think Rip Trippers, he sits there and says, I get it over from Tiger or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And he displays the link on his show.
Yeah, I think even that is a violation of the community guidelines. The way that I read it, that would be because it's part of your content. And so I believe that would be a violation. I'm not an expert.
Gonna hurt. It's going to hurt a lot of YouTubers that actually are for promotion to display all this. Like I know that when I used to review for like, what was it? High Society Supply. Mm-hmm. They wanted their logo right there in the thing, a PNG. They wanted links in the description right to the product. And now they're going to have to, you know.
Most of these companies that send out e-liquids want you to be promoting their specific sites, and they want links. I mean, that's just how it goes, you know.
They want it to be directed back to them, and that, in a sense, I understand it completely, but I also sit there and understand the devil's advocate of it. Okay, if a child, and I'm going to sit there and say, we all know 18 and older doesn't mean crap on YouTube. They don't have to they could sit there and make a fake account instantly unless Google is going to go about requiring IDs from everybody to validate we're over 18. They can bypass the 18 and older just by making an adult profile, surpassing it, and then they click on the link and they say, well, how did you find out about it? And it links back to like OverDose or me or anybody else that reviews. That actually I don't want to promote to kids. I don't at all.
No, but I've always people have switched over. A lot of people have switched over to doing the, restricted content, adults only.
Right.
But like you just said, it means nothing. It
doesn't mean anything except for what they make it to where you don't have advertisements on your thing. You don't get paid. You don't get AdSense. Yeah. No, I make what, pennies on the dollar. Woo-woo.
I make about $5.
There goes my little saying. Yeah. Life was making fun of me the other day. I do. You know what I mean? And woo-woo.
And the thing is that here's the thing. So Black Cat said something really, really smart. He said, and hello, Black Cat Whiteface. Nice to have you in the chat. He said, we all have to be comfortable that our channels can and more than likely will get strikes. And there's very, very little we can do. That's just the truth. I mean, they are actively antagonistic towards vape. That's just the reality. And YouTube doesn't want this content. They don't need this content, excuse me. And that they're going to act accordingly.
And that's another question too. Swag, are we able to put the links to the people's in chat? And
now, what happens in chat cannot, I'm fairly confident, cannot be turned against the I don't know, though. I don't know. Honestly,
but if a wrench does it and you're the one that monetizes them to be a wrench, and they say, okay, you put an affiliate link to that channel, could it come back?
Well, because you have to have a wrench in order
because it's always there. Like when somebody clicks back and watches a replay, that chat is there. It's almost like a description box of your show.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly. I think the only thing we can do to promote the people who send us out these products for review is just to say, here's the company that sent it to me. Just verbally say it. So, the thing is that Train Sonic said, Master Eddie is an awesome music channel. He constantly gets deleted. I've seen what happens when a vapor specifically gets deleted. Look at Foolish. I use him as an example all the time because he was a fairly big channel. He had over 10,000 subscribers, and he is struggling to get that back. He is not back to where he was, and it's been months. Once you lose that foothold you have, however small it might be in the grand scheme of things, getting that back is hard.
I mean, you can go to Twitch, but the thing is, Twitch is really, they're getting more stricter on their policies of what you can and cannot post. Now, you cannot do copyrighted music.
Yeah.
They never used to do that, but now they are.
Twitch is next. It's just going to follow suit just like YouTube does.
Because it's owned by Amazon.
And Wendy is halfway back to where she was at. I mean, that's great. that's great that Wendy's halfway back to where she's at. But halfway, I mean, that's
but she also gained her channel back though.
Yeah, that's true.
She got her channel back because, so that's the thing, is that she was halfway there because a lot of people had, shouted her out saying she lost it. She was one of the main top people, but what about the little channels that got hit that nobody even heard of?
If I got taken down, that would be a really tough recovery for me because I'm not big enough to have that name recognition. And that would be hard. It would be really hard. I mean, look at just when I got doing the live stream from the second channel, we had, that was well publicized. We had 82 subscribers on the second channel. So it is what it is. Juan Castillo, what up, buddy? Smoke 42 wants to know what a really good raspberry vape is. What the hell is the name of it? Oh my God. Lioness Elixirs has a really good pistachio raspberry vape. The raspberry, I thought was
Does it have to be just raspberry?
Yeah, you're looking for just raspberry? Because I don't know a lot of just raspberries. Yeah, that's it. Vaping Swag said the only thing you can do is what the bosses say. The bigger things get, the more you're going to have to comply. Compliance sucks, but it's part of the ballgame for sure. And YouTube is the number one. It's the only platform for video content. I mean, honestly, and we have to try our best to play the game because this is what we do here. Isn't just entertainment. It's a community service. I mean, honestly, for our community, being able to tell people this is good, this is bad. Buy this, don't buy this, don't waste your money. That's a big service to people. So, I want to continue doing that. And so no matter what I have to do, I'm going to continue trying to do that. And Smoke 42 said just raspberry. I don't know a ton of just raspberry vapes. I'm not the biggest raspberry guy, so.
No, just raspberry front.
Okay.
I like, it's called Riptide by Clancy Vapor. I mean, I don't think I think you can still find bottles of it out there, but that was my best raspberry buttercream. It was beautifully done. But I haven't tried a lot of raspberry vapes. It's always mixed berry or some other berry mixed in with it. I do like a sweet ripe raspberry. Like when I DIY, I prefer ripe over sweet.
I like ripe and any of the berries when it comes to e-liquids.
Yeah, all ripe. It has to be ripe. I always thought I was going to like the sweet when I went into DIY. And I'm like, oh my God, it's tart. Why is they calling it sweet when I think it's more tart than anything?
Drip Club, the Milkman series, they have a raspberry. I forget the name of it though. Oh God, I'm so bad with names. But Drip Club, go to the Milkman. They have a really good raspberry. It's like a raspberry milk kind of flavor. My buddy Virgil, this guy is a great friend of mine. He's like a brother to me. We went to high school together and stuff. And so he's in the chat. So I just want to say hello to Virgil. What's up, buddy? Mm-hmm. And does anybody DIY their own flavorings? Our buddy Vaping Swag here DIYs his own flavorings. Definitely possible to do that. Yeah, for sure. Crumble, berry crumble. Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah.
I've done vanilla bean before, and I haven't really did a lot more because I just wanted to straight out just vanilla bean. I knew it was going to be easy. I got the vanilla bean and then I scraped it and then put it in the container PG and just let it steep, and turned out pretty good. It was not enough vanilla, but it was that hint that I wanted.
I know this idiot who just put vanilla fucking flavoring into his vape. Was not good for him.
No.
Not good for him. And so KBN saying he couldn't find the terms of service thing. After the show, I can copy and paste it and send it to you. I'll show you. It's there. I mean, I saw it yesterday because Panda was on a show, Raven's show, and they were all talking about. Everybody's been talking about it crazy, and so I was just going through it, and it's definitely not a bunch. It's like one little paragraph, and there it is. But it's there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of channels out there that review cigars and stuff because they're, you know, part of, and it is tobacco, but it is a sense of tobacco, because cigars were not taxed like tobacco back in the day. You know, like that's why we went to menthol cigars when I was smoking, because we could still buy a carton for like $12 because they were not taxed like a cigarette, like Newports and all them.
Yeah, I remember when the cigarette taxes hit California real hard. I saw people smoking like the Swisher Sweets and stuff because they weren't taxed exactly the same way. Those things are too much for me. Ugh.
Cheyennes, or they were we went back and forth. Deans. It depends on like if they ran out of stock, because they would run out of stock big time.
So everybody in chat, how long have you been off of the smokes or the tobacco or whatever your preference was? Let's see some numbers in the chat, because let's give Virgil some proof that it works. Virgil, here's 3 days tobacco free for the first time. That's the toughest time. Toughest time is the first. I mean, the first year for me was tough, and to be honest, I went back and forth dual using for 6 months, but at that time, also the technology was not 100% where it is now. If I would have had some better products, even things like Nick salts and pods, I would have been a lot better off. I was using stupid vision spinners and the little wick tanks and stuff. They were not great. When did I get off of cigarettes officially?
If you want to call it the first time I used a Cigalite and stuff, and how many I used in between that other like almost year of going back and forth of trying to figure out which one I like. About 6 years, a little over 6, but I kind of threw them down and said, this is not for me. And then when I found out there was refillable cartridges and stuff like that, and vape shops that you can actually go into instead of little smoke shops, I was hooked. As soon as I walked in, I was like, oh my God, it's going to stink in here. Because I seen all this vapor. There's like 3 guys in there just like trying out juices and vaping away, and walked in and it smelled like a candle shop. I was like, wow.
I remember I was so used to smelling bad. And that's really one of the reasons why I quit smoking. So I was so sick of always stinking, because I felt like I stunk all the time. And I remember like the first time when I was like vaping, like for real vaping, and I was in my old house, and somebody knocked on the door, and it was like some random, and they're like, are you baking cookies? It smells so good in there. And I'm like, wow, what a change from like smelling awful to smelling like cookies. That's a wonderful change. Yeah. So Thanksgiving 2012 is the day. Like that's the day that I actually said, okay, no more cigarettes for me. There was like one time I took one drag after that, but I don't really count it, because that one drag was like nothing but a reminder that, oh my God, I hate cigarettes. So I do count Thanksgiving 2012 as my quit date.
Yeah, my last pack of cigarettes was on the 1st. That was my New Year's resolution of 6 years ago. It'll be 6 years.
It's so crazy to think. The first time I ever vaped was 2009, but it took until 2012 to actually get off of cigarettes 100%.
Yeah. Year and a half. I'm just saying, my last cigarette as a vapor, as a vapor, I figure it's your anniversary date starts the day that you put down all the cigarettes.
Yep.
It's the way that I think. That's in my mind is how I look at it. How long you've been vaping. People are like, I want to know how long you've been full on vaping. How long did it take you? Like how much, are you fully on it? Now me, I've had one cigarette in the 6 years, almost 6 years, but it wasn't even a full cigarette. It was 2 puffs and I about died.
Yeah.
Because that first hit was, and then the second hit was, I'm dying.
Yeah.
The first hit it's always the best hit, off a cigarette, back then. But I still do crave cigarettes. Like the hand feel, just the way that, I don't know, it's like an emotional comfort thing that whenever I got stressed, that's when I would want a cigarette. So is that a craving? I don't want it, but in my brain it's like, oh God, after a good meal.
More like nostalgia.
Yeah, like how you eat too much, you go to a buffet or something with the family, Thanksgiving or something, and you eat too much, and you know that cigarette after dinner was the best. Oh.
But you know what? Here's the thing, is that I think the way we remember things, we always remember the good parts. We don't remember the bad parts.
Yeah, I don't remember
the bad parts. And the good parts, like, honestly, I always, like, thought, you know, cigarettes after meals are really good. But the reality was, the last couple of years that I was smoking, I didn't enjoy a cigarette ever. Not after meals, not after sex, never. Cigarettes were disgusting. They always tasted bad. I always hated the smell of them. And, you know, and that's really the last time I took a drag off of a cigarette. It was like, I was like, God, this is just the first drag. And the same as you, I thought this first drag is going to be amazing, you know? And it was like smoke in my face. It was hot. It was disgusting. It tasted really bad. I thought, oh, no, can't do it. Can't do it. Ugh.
Yeah, I love messing around with tobacco vapes. And a lot of people think tobacco vapes are gross. Actually, tobacco vapes are very sweet, and the notes in it are really nice. I don't know what it is about them, but I've never strayed away from tobacco vapes. I fell in love with them because when I was DIYing with them, I was like, this tastes nothing like a cigarette. This actually has almost like a bakery note sometimes in it, like a hint of like what it could kick up like a graham cracker. It could kick up like almost like an earthy, you know, more of an earthy notes and stuff.
A good tobacco should be more dessert than tobacco.
It's more of a dessert. It's sweet. And if you use like a smooth flavoring additive, will pull some like of the darker notes back and the sweeter notes forward. And it actually reverses the other. If you ever mess up on a liquid, put a little smooth in it. And like if you have too much lemon in it, it'll mute that lemon a little bit and let the other flavors shine. It's the weirdest thing I've ever had in my DIY stash, but it's helped save a few flavors.
I tell you what, I've had one flavor that was straight up a cigarette flavor, and it was called Lucky Star, and I forget who made it. It was the whole theme of the
Strikes.
Yeah, it's something like Lucky Strikes, and the whole theme of this company was like outer space. It was like Nebula might be the name of the company, but it was Lucky Star. And I didn't even know it was like a tobacco kind of thing. And I took a fucking drag of that, and I almost wanted to vomit. It stunk my whole house up. It was just awful. So Virgil here says he vaped for 2 weeks before quitting, trying to cut down. Was trying higher milligram liquids until it burned at 18 milligrams. And it will not satisfy your cravings. 18 milligram is just harsh. It's just harsh. But nicotine salts, you know, high milligram salts, for somebody who's very addicted to tobacco and who needs to get off quickly, nicotine salts are like they're totally the right answer.
Right.
Now, nicotine salts is new, and so there are a lot of flavors coming out, and people are still kind of wrapping their head around how to make a good nicotine salt flavor, but there are a ton of great ones. Basics makes a whole line of tremendous nicotine salt flavors. That's basically what we use for nicotine salts here in my house, and we love them. We absolutely love them. The banana cream pie one is great. The blueberry magic is good. All wonderful.
He baked John Wayne for 3 months before he even known it was a tobacco.
John Wayne is a damn good e-liquid. Oh yeah. It's one of my favorite tobacco e-liquids for sure. Absolutely. Drowsy says 16 where he lives go up 10% every 6 months. So everyone here is jumping on the vapes. $17.79 for a pack of 20s. Oh, geez, Louise. Yeah, Nick salts are the key for beginners. I definitely wish it was available when I said.
Yeah, for beginners, but you know what? Be prepared though when you're going to have another change if you want to go down in the next levels. Because they only go down so far, and then you're going to have to adjust to what we have here, which is most of the time max VG, not a lot of 50-50 blends, a lot of places and stuff anymore, except for I think Refuge Vapors still does a 50-50 blend on their signature series line.
You can find them quite a few are out there. But
there's quite a few,
not as many.
The ones that I would trust, I trust Refuge on their 50-50 blind. Because it was the thing I got off cigarettes with. I mean, the thing is to find your key flavor that'll keep you vaping.
And that's it. It's probably not going to be what you would expect it to be. You know, when I first started vaping, I thought that peaches and cream. I don't know why I had it in my mind, but I thought peaches and cream was going to be the one. That was going to be the thing that got me off of smoking, and that was going to be the thing. I didn't even like peaches and cream. But for some reason, I thought that's what it was going to be. It turned out to not be that at all. Strawberry creams are definitely my preferred vape, and you'll find it. You just have to try different flavors. Virgil's actually going to come see me pretty soon up here in Ukiah, so I'm gonna try some flavors with him. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
Very nice.
Yep. Yeah, and Smoke 42 said Big Tasia helped him quit. Big Tasia is awesome. Yeah, $30 $30 a pack.
Wow. No, thank you.
Crazy. You know, and I just love when they do this stuff, because now everywhere I go, I see more vapors. I see people sitting on, outside their works vaping. I gotta go, right where I work, I'm in the middle of this giant office, and there's the guy who runs the office next to me, he vapes, and there's a woman who runs the office next to me, she vapes. And so all of us kind of like congregate outside and we vape. It's awesome. Yeah, Virgil, as well as me, when we were growing up, we smoked tobacco and weed out of bongs, the big fat bong loads of tobacco and weed. So that's the kind of tobacco that Virgil's trying to get off of. So, yeah, I think that 50 milligram is going to be what you need right now for sure. Yes. And the cool thing about nicotine salts is you can take in those large amounts of nicotine, 50 milligrams, and it's very smooth. So I want to say hello to Philly Vape 215, Ashley Brown, Chevy Man. I saw 707 was in here. I'm pretty sure Import Man. Yep, he's there. We got a lot of people. All Day Vape. What's happening, buddy? Yeah, all the people are here. Of course, we got Giancarlo's here. What's going on? Yeah, all the peeps. All the peeps are here.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So what have you been vaping this week, Nikki B?
What have I been vaping? I got the peanut butter rocket. It is a peanut butter pie topped with sweet creams. It is very creamy peanut butter. That's all I get. I don't get a real peanut butter pie or like crust or anything, but it does taste like if you had a peanut butter pie with a whipped cream in the pie. It's good. I usually don't like a lot of peanut butters, and because usually they're dry, very dry. That and this one actually was weirding me out. My Sweet Dragon, a dangerously sweet dragon fruit gummy from the same line. That one, I thought, oh my God, it's got dragon fruit. I'm not gonna like it. It actually is really good. I usually don't like gummies either because they're usually drying too. They always have like this weird filling on the tongue, like. Bleh.
I cannot handle. No way. I cannot handle dragon fruit. No, thank you.
Oh, no. I actually like this one. It's not bad.
No, thank you.
But in one of my all day vapes is the almond cold brew. I don't know what it is, but I can't put them down. I've gone through probably 300s of this line, and I'm going, oh great, they need to go on sale again.
Next time you go on sale, you gotta stock up.
Oh, I did. I bought, I think, 20 bottles of it. And I actually did give out a few of them for another person so he can review them with me. But I vaped so much of them that I'm like, okay, I need to save some for review because I'm like, okay, I'm just having a good time vaping them and I'm being stingy. I don't want anybody to buy them because I want them to be there. I mean, it's just like one of those things. I usually don't buy a lot of juice with my own personal money, but if I took a gander on $8 a bottle when they're regularly like 20. Well, it was like almost $30 a bottle for a 120. And I was like, heck yeah, $8.
I haven't bought an e-liquid in probably 3 months. Last time I bought e-liquid, I bought like 5 bottles of the one for Panda because she was crazy obsessed with it. And then she vaped like 1 bottle of it and then the rest just sat there. So we haven't bought any in a while, but I just make my own liquid most of the time. So. Well,
yeah, I mean, I've been picking back up in the DIY again. And also I've gotten a couple companies sending me stuff. And I haven't really bought a lot of juice and I hate to sit there and say this in the last so many years that I've been vaping because I was known as a juice reviewer in the very beginning. I'm a girl, juice, center juice, and I'm like, well, screw this. I want hardware. So I just started reviewing all the hardware that I bought and It's been good. I'm actually beta testing right now a new device, which isn't even out on the market. The glass, the Steam Crave came out. And I'm reviewing the mesh insert.
Nice.
We actually have a mesh deck inside. You can't really see it, but it's got like a U-shaped mesh.
Yeah. No, I got really pigeonholed into the whole e-liquid thing too, because we intentionally started doing that. Because when we started the channel, and a lot of people don't know this, because we're so small still, but we started the channel in December of 2014. And at that time, there was no dedicated e-liquid channels. There was none. And so there was some people who would do occasional e-liquid reviews, but it was always focused on hardware. So we felt like we really, there's a big gap here where the majority of people, what you're buying the most is e-liquid. You're not buying hardware more than you're buying e-liquid. And so we thought, there needs to be a lot more reviews for those. And we got really pigeonholed into doing just that. And people, even recently, a company that I've worked with before in the past, I won't call them out or anything, but I've worked with them a ton in the past doing hardware reviews. And it's like one of the only companies that ever gave me a chance to do hardware reviews. But the guy who I worked with, he doesn't work there anymore. And this new guy who took his place, he said, don't you do e-liquid reviews? And I'm like, dude, I've done hardware reviews for you guys, come on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But no, I'm trying to also break into doing hardware, and it's not, sometimes you get pigeonholed in doing that, but it's still, my bread and butter is always going to be e-liquid because it is still, in my opinion, like so important. So.
Right. It is important. Just like when people, we had one person as a troll account over in the show right before here, was kind of going, are you actually doing a cotton review? And I'm like, well, why not? If you don't have cotton, you're not going to sit there and vape. It is a good, topic to talk about that. And a lot of people don't talk about.
Absolutely.
Is the cotton that you put in there, because what you put in your device and what I put in my device could be two different things. It could change the flavor totally.
One of my biggest videos is Cotton Bacon V2. It's got thousands and thousands of views. And so Panda's biggest video she has is for Cotton Bacon Prime.
But having a group discussion on cotton and only cotton, I guess, baffled a lot of people of saying, well, why y'all talking about cotton and only one particular brand? Well, no, we were giving our thoughts on it. And it was really kind of nice to actually get so many different opinions and kind of teach each other how to use this cotton because it's so new. Like, I didn't know that the little end pieces of this cotton, they have the little flugel. I always call them flugel binders, because of the movie Cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
It shows, well, what's the end of a shoelace called? A flugel binder. Right. But you actually take it and you can take it and pull it off. You just grab it and it pops right off. A little plastic piece that pops off, so you still get to use the end instead of touching that. So I'm going to put that outside the thing.
Somebody said, I had to grab mine because somebody said, only thing that's hard with DIY is holding on to it long enough to steep all the way. That's the problem we have here. This is my liquid that I make. And I always, like, Panda specifically will not vape it until it's at a certain point because it changes drastically at a certain point. But this liquid requires longer steep time than I've ever seen any other liquid. It requires about at least a month. More honestly, probably more like 2 months. But I'm always dipping into it because I can't wait. And so but I try to make 1,000 mils at a time. This time I only made 500 mils, but it goes fast. It goes fast. But just let it steep. You're gonna be so much happier with it if you let it steep. It's so true, but it's hard. It's really, really hard. Yeah, somebody's saying best capillary cotton, in my opinion, is cotton. Okay, I wasn't crazy about cotton. I actually do have a review coming for it still. I've had it for a while, but with cotton, more than anything, I think it requires a lot of tests, a lot of use. I got to put it through every use case scenario that I can think of because I don't want somebody to get it based on what I'm saying and then use it in something that I never even thought about and say that cotton's terrible for this specific use case and you didn't
exactly and that's why I did the panel thing is because every person on the panel, we had maybe 3 people that vaped at like 45 watts and RDAs and tanks and stuff. But then we also had people that were high wattage vapors that actually said, I had no break-in time, and the cotton was really great because it broke down real quick. Yeah. And the thing, because sometimes you're vaping at high watts, the cotton breaks down real quick if you don't have a high density cotton to handle that heat. Yeah. Well, that's what that cotton is meant for. The other one was very thin and very, I don't know, delicate. You know what I'm saying? Almost like what you would put in maybe like a Jenny or a, to give that like the wicking. But I found it was really issuey, the hip hop one. It was really finicky in a wick. And wick is really hard to kind of, it's higher watt, is it lower watt, even though it ranges at a certain range, but it heats up so quickly at the bottom of a mesh that you need a capillary action going there, because if you get a dry hit, it's not pleasant.
Yeah, with mesh, it's super important. It's so important.
My throat is very kind of issuey this week because of this. I've gotten a couple almost to the point dry hit to where I felt it. You just felt that.
Yep. Mesh is a feeling more than a flavor for sure. So Drowsy said, to be honest, I like cotton bacon V2 and RDAs over the prime. Us too. Me and Panda both agree with you 100%. For extreme use cases, like RDAs at extreme temperatures, extreme wattages, voltages, or things like stack mods, or just series mods, or just super sub-ohm builds. V2 all day long, in my opinion. But for things like tanks, DTAs, RTAs, I think that Prime has better wicking. And so, different use cases for different things. And so, Church, what's going on, brother? We were just talking about you earlier. How much we love the church. So, what's happening, brother?
Yeah, it's Sunday. We gotta go to church.
It's Sunday. We gotta go to church. That's it. Yeah, V2, man. V2 is just holds up so much better, in my opinion, under high heat for sure. I'm glad that people are catching on to that. And then native wicks, some people swear by that. Ruffians 13 here on us native wicks.
Randy.
It's great. So some people love it. Yeah. I think I've only used native wicks like once.
That's why we sit there and did a show and they said, really, cotton? Well, everybody can review a cotton, but can you sit there and actually put the cotton to its test of a lineup? No, because everybody likes different cottons, just like everybody likes different addies and devices and stuff. We're all find the person you like that likes the same things as you.
That's it.
That's all I can say.
That's it. Everybody, if you're watching the show, why don't you go hit the like button? I know it's a lot to ask, but come on, do it for me. So I'll go through what I've been vaping this week. I've gotten a lot of things from Heaven Gifts. One of them is this disposable. This from EDC Vape. This one is like a cool mentholy fruit one. When we got it, we were making fun of it because it's like, who's this for? It's like a $10 disposable. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
I got a few of those, and my husband was actually testing them out and stuff for me because I don't do nic salts just because I'm not a high nic vapor anymore. And that's where I didn't want to get addicted. I mean, I'm not saying anybody's addicted, but taking my 3 milligrams to a 25 or a 50, I'm doing more damage to myself and healing processes because of nicotine kind of restricts your blood vessels to where you can heal properly. And with my illnesses lately, I don't need any issues with my health. So I opted out not to do nic salts.
Which is totally great. Totally great. So Juan Castillo wanted to know, question for everybody. If everyone had to pick just one cotton brand to use for the rest of their life, what would it be? I answered Cotton Bacon V2. Why doesn't everybody put their answer into the chat? Let's see what the consensus is here. One cotton, rest of your life. It's all you can use. What is it going to be?
Me and Swag both the same.
Muji. See, to me, Muji, I just never could get into it. It had too much of a flavor. It has a flavor to it, in my opinion.
Well, my Muji was puffs. Mine was puffs. Now, you got to realize, the only reason why I said that is because you said for the rest of my life, and I'm a budget person, and you're going to get more
top.
bang for your buck with Muji because you get a shit ton of it and it lasts forever.
True.
But when it comes down to it, if you ask me if I had unlimited funds to buy cotton, I think I would go with Cotton Candy Collection, the little tube, the little round.
Okay.
I really like that one.
Okay. And then we got Native Wicks Premium, Cotton Bacon Prime, John Carlo with the Muji. Hey, I respect that man's opinion. So, but I'll go through what I've been vaping while everybody answers that question. So I got this new liquid. I love Milkman. This is from Milkman and the Mad Hatter juice. It's mango milk. Review coming soon. Really changed my mind on mango vapes. Honestly, really, really good. I'm a huge whore for Milkman. I don't know what it is. The original OG Milkman is like one of my favorites. I absolutely love it. So this shit's good.
Had Milkman.
Gotta try it sometime. It's so good.
I've never had any of their line. I think their packaging is great and everything. I like the little milk carton and stuff. I think it was quite cool.
It's just too expensive. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I also have been vaping this Gizzard Brew custard. I love this shit. This shit is great. Not just because I love this man, but also because it's a damn fine e-liquid. Vaping swag and Gizzard Stew, of course. Spork Life. And I've also been vaping this Swaggy Cinnamon, also from Vaping Swag. Damn good e-liquid. I'm not a big cinnamon guy, but I wanted to try it. And it's really stuck out to me as being really, really good. In my little pod here, I am using, it's called Blue Magic from Basics, 50 milligram little salt e-liquid. On my Doge V2 and my Sub-Zero X, I'm vaping White Girl. Same goes for my Mutation XS. It's my little tiny Mutation X. This is a great flavor adding because it's just so small. And I have that on the Rouleau RX Machina. I got all kinds of shit. In my Avocado 24, I'm rocking Archer from OR33. It's a strawberry vape. Quick Shake. This is a damn good strawberry milkshake e-liquid from the UK. And I got that in the Pulse 22 with this coil is awesome. I've been trying some really unusual coils lately. This is I'm not gonna be able to show it. I don't have pictures of it either. It's a Fuse Clapton stovetop coil. And it is just so banging.
It looks like a snail.
It's so great. It's so great. Not to toot my own horn, but I've been trying things that aren't Clapton. Well, this is Clapton variant, but I've been trying things that aren't your normal coils. And I have some pictures that I'm going to show here in a minute.
But you have your cotton underneath the coil. That's cool.
It's all up underneath of it. Yeah. Cool. Great flavor from that.
Really hot vape.
This is actually not as hot because it's single coil, but it is a nice warm vape.
Yeah.
On my drop,
just because the coils are right on top and they'll be right close.
It's shooting in the way that a stovetop coil, the way that it wicks and vapes is it shoots the vapor from the middle hole, and so it's just spraying it right up in your mouth for sure. That sounded a little dirty, but it didn't mean to be. Drop Solo here, which is an amazing RDA. You guys have to get one of these if you don't have one already. Yeah. I have drip code 69. This is a peanut butter and jelly. Oh, it's the only peanut butter and jelly flavor. It's so good.
The cottons do have if you don't like the threads, you can actually get the cotton in the black bag, the black zipper bag, which is the rope style.
Yeah, but you know what? It reminded me so much, the cotton, the loose cotton. To me, it reminded me so much of Angry Rabbit cotton. Really? It was very reminiscent to me of it. Also, I got my Dead Rabbit here with the challenge cap, and I'm rocking. What the hell is in this thing? Let me take a vape. Oh, this is mango milk. This is what I have in mango milk in. Yeah, and then I'm using the mesh RDA. So you got mesh on my McLovin. This is what I have Swaggy Cinnamon in. It's very
McLovin,
good.
I like how you say that.
The McLovin, yeah. I got my little red battery, little heart one. Yeah, this is the only Comp Life model I'll ever be able to afford because these are super expensive usually. But yeah, and I like the threads versions of cotton. I do like them for convenience, except for they only make them in 1 millimeter, which is I think it's 3 millimeter for the cotton threads. I'm not 100% sure, but I make coils that are small. I usually use like 2.2 millimeter coils, and so it just wouldn't fit in a lot of my coils. So that was that. And I did like mango custard from the fruit and custard line KBN. I just don't like it as much as I like this. Fruit and Custard's a great line of e-liquids from Vaptasia. But I also, from Vaptasia, if I'm going to get something besides their main line, I like their, God, it's like the yogurt granola line that they have. I can't remember the name of it. I'm so terrible with names. Clean as fuck coils in the house. What's going on, baby? What's happening? Freddie?
Goodwin.
Pete Goodwin. What's happening, buddy? Saturation station. You got everybody here. Okay, so I'm going to look at some coils real quick before we call it a night. Parfait line. Drowsy, you always got my back. KBN2. It's the Parfait line from Vaptasia. If you guys haven't tried that, that shit is on point. It's yogurt and granola, and it's really, really good. They have a strawberry and a blueberry one. It's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. They also have a good lemonade line. So, and
watch about some of the lemonades. I think they did a menthol thing and some Goo Cup.
That is, we're gonna have a talk about that one of these days because I've been trying them and I haven't tasted it, but other people do.
But it was from can't remember where she got it, but she has been a lover of that line. Like that is her go-to. And to sit there and you know your go-to.
I know
and it is totally changed with the menthol hit.
Yeah, I mean, she's in more of a position to talk about it for sure. We'll have to have her come on the show sometime and we'll talk about specifically things like that, changing e-liquid flavors. Because that happens all the time. So talking about something like that,
right. I'm
a huge fan of the Milkman, like I just said, the original Milkman. Now, that flavor, when it first came out, was made by a different company, not Drip Club. And I hated it. We did a review of it. We trashed it. We gave it like a 0 out of 5. We just destroyed it. But then Drip Club actually purchased that company or took that company over, however you want to look at it, and they changed the recipe. And it's the same flavor, but they just use better flavorings. They have a better recipe for that flavor. And so it's very similar, but just so infinitely better. And so, sometimes recipe changes happen and they're for the best. Sometimes they change and they're all wrong. So, and I have not, actually, Drowsy wanted to know if I had a chance to try the new Charlie Noble flavors. I'm a huge Charlie Noble fan. Siren Song is amongst my top flavors of all time. And I have not had a chance to try those yet. But I did reach out to them to let them know that I was interested in trying them and to do a review of them, but haven't heard back yet. So we'll see. Yeah. Some of them sound good. I think the 2 of them sounded good. There's 3 new flavors. Like 2 of them did sound interesting, but we'll see. Okay, so let's look at some coils real quick. I think I'm the only one who put coils in again, but who cares? Let's look at them anyways, because these ones are actually interesting, in my opinion. They're interesting, at least. How do I get it here? Here we go. Share my screen. Let's share it. Okay, let's get rid of some of this chat and some of this messenger. And we'll open up coil 74. Okay, so this is all from the Drop Solo. I've been really building on it a lot lately. If it'll ever pop up. Okay, so this is just a normal fused Clapton with parallel with 22 gauge Genpo. I just like the way it came out. It looked nice.
Very nice.
So this is the beginning. This is one of the cool builds that I made. I saw a video on it. It's called the Rods. Okay, this is back to this. So here's the Rods. Now this is a very poor example of this build. Okay. But I actually did rip it out, and I'm building a new one as we speak. And people want to know how you wick it. Basically, you just wrap a piece of cotton around the middle section of those rods, and then you have the tail of it laying into the cup of the RDA. So what it is 3 pieces of Clapton wire. Specifically, that's 20 gauge core wrapped with 32 gauge. And then it's just held in place by 2 arms made out of another piece of 20 gauge wire. The whole key here is getting those wraps around the rods tight enough that it fires properly, and getting the arms going into the RDA properly. And it's a lot harder. It's an easy build, but it's harder. It's hard to get it to fire correctly. So this one just never got there, and so I actually took it out. And I'm working on the next version of it. So, but it's going to get there. It's going to get there. And I have another picture of it, I believe. No, that was it. That was the only one. But yeah, it's a great build. I had a lot of fun doing it. And when it actually is firing, it puts off hellacious vape. The vape basically sprays from the spaces when you wick it correctly. the vape kind of sprays between the spaces on the ends of the rods. So it's coming out the sides of the rods, and it's kind of just all through the spaces of them. Great build. Great build. Fun build. And really highlights what the Drop Solo is capable of, which is you have a ton of room in there. And yeah, it's just super fun. Super fun. So, and it's something unusual and something different. And I'm just, you see the same builds, and it's not to say anything bad about people who do the same builds that have really mastered these certain builds, because I can't do those, you know, like I struggle with making aliens and all that shit. But these are just something different, like with the stovetop coils and with the rods build. Those are just things that I want to mess around with. So I've been trying a lot of that lately. So, all right, nice. Okay. And Clean as Fuck Coils, drip code number 69 is fire. It is the best peanut butter jelly liquid on the market, in my opinion. Boom. Thank you, Juan. I thought it was a cool build too. So, all right. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. Nikki, why don't you go ahead and tell them where they can find you?
You can find me at Vaping with Nikki B on YouTube and all social media. You can find me at also on Instagram as Not Your Average Threads, where I do embroidery and heat press designs on almost everything. I'm getting my hands on things and just like beta testing, like, can it stick? You know, so just kind of, you know, especially with like vape bats and towels. And yeah, I don't do towels because I do the embroidery on the towels, but I do shirts, and the mouse pads are actually really cool. I thought that they wouldn't stick or they would melt, but they don't. So it's really kind of cool that I can actually do the towels now.
Excellent. Mouse pads are nice. It's like one of those things that's you don't really understand. Like I never thought about it, right? Because one day I needed a mouse pad, and I went to the store to buy a mouse pad. First off, good luck finding a mouse pad, because most places don't even carry them anymore. And when you do find them, they're like $15 for a mouse pad. And so, if you're gonna get a mouse pad, you might as well buy one from Nikki B and get something printed onto it. So, yeah,
because like here's mine.
Nice, excellent.
Yeah, I even have like a little tiny red spot where I forgot to take, like, totally weed out one little tiny of the little specks, and it will not come off. I tried scratching that thing before, but try not to do metallics because it will be reflective on your mouse and will make your mouse.
Yeah. I see. So yeah, so people are talking about, before we call it quits, some people are talking about dropping a lot of money on DIY. Here's the thing. So if you're just interested in DIY as a whole, then yeah, you want to spend a little bit, get a lot of different flavors. That way you can try different things. But if you have an idea of what you want, you can save yourself a lot of money by focusing on that thing. Like for me, I already knew I had a base recipe that I knew I wanted to change a little bit. And so I bought the things from my original recipe that I wanted. And I bought a few things to supplement it. And I mean, altogether, including VG, nicotine, and the flavorings that I needed to make several thousand mils, it cost me about $75. So, I mean, that's a lot cheaper than buying thousands of mils otherwise.
And swag is right too, though. DIY is like a dark pit. You can get lost in it right around 2.4 seconds.
Definitely. It's super easy to get into there. And DIY down there, it doesn't have to be a pit of money. That's so true. Like I was just saying, if you know what you want, it definitely. But if you know what you want and you follow recipes and you find recipes that you're interested in, you can just buy those things. So, Juan Castillo, need to get Yeti and Hashbuck on the show. Hey man, tell them that. I've been harassing those guys, so I'm not going to harass them anymore. They know that they're welcome here. I would love to have them on the show. You guys know that. Tell them that you guys miss them. Send them messages. Tell them to get their asses back on here. Yeah. Kick their asses is what I'm going to do. Both of them, bastards. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. I'm glad to be back on the main channel, as you can tell. Thank you to Nikki B for being here. Really appreciate it. And until next week, we will see you later. Peace out.
Bye.